Because that's what I was thinking I was going to try today.
Okay, makes sense. Though, if they do find it, and whether or not they know about it, or know what to
I
look for.
figured since I have good stealth, I'd be good at hiding it or something, or
Yeah.
finding a good hiding spot.
Yeah, that would be a sleight of hand check. Just
Oh, well, I don't know what my sleight of hand is.
it's Dex plus proficiency if you're proficient.
Ooh, I'm proficient in Dex.
Well, but are you proficient in sleight of hand?
Oh, no, I don't think so.
Well, that's okay.
Um, oh, actually, yes, I am proficient in sleight of hand. I have a +6 in it,
Well, that's quite good.
just like my stealth.
Yeah.
So, stealth and investigation and sleight of hand. No, acrobatics, sleight of hand, and stealth are my highest. With all three of those being +6, investigation being a +4.
Now, once again, just as trying to be as open and fair as possible, if they do find the cube and spend an hour with it, they can jump into it.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
I just this is a last ditch effort here because I don't know what to do after this. If they keep tracking us, I mean, I can run forever, but I think they're faster than me.
It's about the same. Let me pull up the. Yeah, speed 30, yeah, speed 40, speed. Speed 35.
Real,
Okay, yeah. So they're about the same. Like
so
two of
real
them are
quick,
faster.
while I'm thinking of it, one, happy birthday. Two, my dexterity is +4, so plus sleight of hand, that would be a total of +10.
Wait, your dexterity is a what?
My dexterity is a +4, my sleight of hand is 6, so would my bonus be +10?
No, because it's automatically counting it in. Wait, your proficiency bonus should be +3 right
It
now.
says sleight of hand, it has a star next to it and says 6.
Right. But what does your proficiency bonus say?
For dexterity,
For just general.
proficiency bonus.
Because you should have a +3 proficiency bonus right now.
Oh, well, then I'll edit that.
Yeah, so you just got 5% more accuracy on your check.
Yay! So, it's sleight of hand plus proficiency, so then it would be 9.
Back.
Wait. So we were talking same proficiency?
So if my proficiency is +3, my sleight of hand is 6. It would be a +6 or +9 to whatever stealth or sleight of hand roll I do.
Since you're on reroll proficiency and you're already proficient in it, it would just be the plus. Should be +7 too, with the sleight of hand check.
+7.
Yeah, because your dexterity is +5, right?
My dexterity is +4 at the moment.
Okay, +4. Yeah. Alright, so +4 plus your proficiency bonus of 3, so that's just +7. And that's what should be in the sleight of hand box.
Oh. Okay.
Yep, it's doing the math behind the scenes, so long as everything is together.
Okay, yeah, it hadn't updated my shit. Okay, I see what's going on.
Did we level up?
No, I forgot to level up my proficiency a while back.
Oh, gotcha.
But it's okay, you still had good roll still.
I mean, I'm still, I won't call myself a noob, but I'm still not,
Yeah, I feel that.
Yeah.
I'm not an experienced player.
It's okay.
Yeah.
That's what my job is.
Same though. Immediately, I was the forever DM the moment I picked up the player's handbook and the starter set, because my sister didn't want to learn all the rules and stuff. So I was like, okay, I'll check it out. And I have a strange encyclopedic knowledge on various topics. I still at stuff every now and again to keep up to date.
I'm kind of excited for after this campaign because Andy had mentioned something about you called it E4.
Fourth edition, yeah.
Yeah.
And you the way you described that sounded like way more fun than fifth edition.
It's slightly more complicated on one hand, but like you have it's really cool. I really like fourth edition. Like the combat stuff is super cinematic.
What do you mean by cinematic?
Like it's very evocative language, and like here, let me just pull out a book and grab an example.
Please and thank you.
Player's Handbook 2. Let's see here.
Ooh, also, don't forget to do your first roll of the day to see how your luck's going to turn out. I rolled a 9.
Okay, first level encounter power for an Avenger, which is kind of like the damage dealing paladin. Avenging Echo. Your weapon sweeps in a deadly arc, leaving in its wake swirling radiant energy that keeps your foes at bay. And so then you can just kind of take that and modify it to what you want to do. And so you can do that once per encounter as your main action. Deals 1 weapon die plus your wisdom modifier of damage. And you gain some bonuses based on whether or not people hit or miss, or ending at turns adjacent to you. It's pretty straightforward, and I just love it.
How you guys been settling into classes?
Pretty good, pretty good. I had to drop, I technically wasn't in it to begin with. I was waitlisted for a class, but it wouldn't go off my waitlist, so I assumed I got it. And then I got in, and then I was waitlisted for it, and they're like, oh yeah, we had open spots and everything, but we can allow you in. But then I was like, I mean, that was the same Monday that we are now doing the Starfinder session, so it just worked out better to just drop it. Or withdraw from it.
Ooh, that's cool.
I don't have labs till September 14th and 16th. That's when my labs start. So my beginning few weeks here has been rather lax, like insanely lax.
Fair.
I just saw that I had a Discord notification from Arcane Minis, and they published their Mind Flayer ship crew.
Ooh.
Oh, I can send you guys a picture of some of the math I've been doing.
Oh, that sounds.
Yeah.
We're working on learning transmission lines and shit.
Oh, neato.
Nice.
Buddy.
Magnet.
Hello.
Oh, let's see here. Ooh.
That's the math we're doing.
Okay. I
Ooh,
kind
phase
of
velocity.
see this. Kind of get it, like, because you've got the different sine waves, and so you're. I mean, that's definitely incredibly complicated, and I would be struggling with it, but I get it, like the concept of it.
Yeah.
Oh, second image, no.
Yeah. Yeah, dude, that one's the fun one.
Well, good for you for expanding horizons.
Yeah.
And to quote my professor, if an engineer's viewpoint in life should be this: if we can't solve the problem, we change the problem in a way that we can solve. And I'm just sitting there like, that just seems like solving the problem.
For real though.
It's solving the problem with extra steps.
There you go, Rick.
Ooh, don't forget to do a intro roll of the day to see how your luck's gonna fare.
Oh yes.
See, I feel like if I do that, then I just feel like that's not going to be good for me, so I don't want to do that.
Fair, fair.
Is
I
it worse
got.
to not do that? Is there
I
some sort
mean,
of backlash for breaking tradition?
No.
no,
I'm
it's
setting
just a
that
thing
die
I was.
aside.
I rolled 3 3s in a row.
Oh,
Oof.
I mean, I think. Well, 3 in a row. I think that's good luck.
I rolled like 4 6s, a 4, a 1, and then I switched dice because that one was cursed, and I rolled a natural 20.
Wow. We're firing on all cylinders, everybody.
This is gonna be interesting. Like that dice can just sit on my shelf. Don't need it.
Don't need it. Don't want it.
Don't need that kind of negativity.
Negativity.
Okay.
But it wants you.
Yeah, that's the problem.
It's attracted to you because you're so positive.
I feel like we're talking about different people here.
I mean, I wouldn't call you an optimist, but I certainly wouldn't call you a pessimist.
Ooh, you know what I actually could do?
What?
Since I have I think this is the first session since I've gotten the Kickstarter rewards for Legend of Vox Machina, I could just roll with those dice tonight.
Ooh.
That sounds exciting.
Yeah. So, this is just completely different. Okay. Instead of the metal ones. Are those gonna be worth any luck to me tonight?
Oh, the Safari flares, they're modular too?
Yeah.
Oh, that's dope.
Oh yeah, no. Arcane Mini stuff is amazing. And they're still putting out stuff for their first Kickstarter from I think it's almost been 2 years now. But like it is so cool. Cuz they promised a ton in that one, and it's basically the best value you could spend for if you want steampunky pirate flying ships. Because it was like 18 ships for, I think I got it for like $80, 85-ish. And like the one ship I was like going to print, I had to get a tape measure out because it was like, this ship is 100 something centimeters. I'm like, okay, that's not that bad. And then I pulled it up and I'm like, oh, that's like 4 feet. That's bigger than my coffee table.
Whoa.
So yeah, no, that's gonna be a long-term project.
Yeah, dude, 100 centimeters. That's no joke.
Yeah.
That's a whole meter.
Yeah. I think it was like 120 something, 121. It was a lot, and I was like, I messaged in the chat like, oh wow, that's much bigger than I thought. And the actual creator was like, yep, I like my ships
The
big.
metric system will get it to you. It's crafty like that.
Mm-hmm. Which is why we should just switch to it.
Nah. Fuck the Brits. This is America.
America.
America. Fuck
America.
Okay, so So I think we're just waiting on Miro.
Yeah, I just texted him.
Oh.
I haven't gotten anything back yet.
Cool. I was just gonna add him in chat again, but that sounds like you're probably gonna get him more.
I don't know. I would suggest doing it too, because more pings on his phone, the better.
Okay.
Oh yeah, Andrew.
Yes.
Remember the ability unlock stuff I sent you before?
Unlock stuff. I think so. Let me
It was like the totally unbalanced one. That all the abilities were like totally back and forth. Well, I updated those a little bit, and I created a whole system for gaining the ability because I wanted it to be a system of you roll a die basically for your ability, and like in game, like I wanted it to be an TTRPG that was very much like a video game RPG with like cash shop items and so on like that, like I guess Sword Art Online ish deal. Not exactly, but I mean that's not a very good. Uh, so now there is a whole cash shop in the ability unlocked store, and like your inventory is like a real inventory that you open, and like a screen pops up in front of you. You can grab things out, put things in. Uh, your luck stats and loot stats are actually like available in the meta. Like you can drink a potion to increase your experience rate for killing monsters.
Oh wow, that sounds cool.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm in the dregs of creating that system, and I've had a few snags, but we're rolling.
Okay, nice. I'm just going to quickly mute the club server for a couple hours just because people are probably going to jump in and going to get a lot of notification pings.
Yep.
Yeah, that's going to be overkill.
7 have came in within the hour of the email dropping, so that's not bad. It's not bad. Honestly, a lot of people, since it's Friday and the weekend, probably not going to look at their email till Monday or Sunday.
Yeah, that makes sense. But everything looked good there for just having the one-shot tags and everything.
Everything looks okie dokie.
Okay, cool. Because I was playing around with it with Dagon and Ukatoa, and I was able to just react to it, and then the one-shot channel would just pop up and down, and so it was available and not at the same time, which is exactly what we wanted.
Yeah.
I think.
Ooh, nice. We already have 10 people for Fridays available, 10 more people, and 9 more people for Saturdays. But, I mean, of course, those might be, crossed.
Yeah.
Like, some people on the Friday might be the same as the Saturday one.
Who's to say you can't join 2 groups?
Yeah.
So long as you manage your schedule, right?
Howdy do.
Hello there.
Papa.
I'm sorry, I was sleeping. I'm sorry. I heard Seth's text, so I'm sorry. I was sleeping.
Dude,
It
it's
happened.
totally fine. I remember for our final battle at TTRPG Club last semester when I was doing Lost Mines of Phandelver, I accidentally slept in on the day of the boss battle and came a half
I
hour late.
remember that.
I had been prepping the night before and just stressed out everything and got all super worked out and then just crashed.
Yeah, like when Seth sent me, I was debating, should I go to sleep? Should I continue? But then I remember Seth said that a disaster happened to me, so I'm no. At that, I can come play for an hour and a half and go back to sleep. Because I'm tired. I'm still adjusting for sleeping.
A disaster did not happen to you. Everyone is still standing on their feet, completely alive and well.
By well, he means almost dead.
You have 23 hit points. You're fine.
I have 11.
I'm waking up to this. I don't have the brain cells to process this.
Well, since we are all here, I suppose we should jump into tonight's game.
Is the owlbear up?
Owlbear is active. Let me go ahead and at the link again.
I found one of the links and I clicked on it, but I haven't got it to load yet.
Cool. Let me.
So,
choose.
so I want to know some stuff then. How many spells do I have left?
You have 3 first level slots, and 6 charges on the Staff of Power. Like it was a rough fight, but you also have downed a second member of the Penumbra Syndicate.
We managed to kill 1 of 4 people.
You've killed 2 of 5 actually.
Andy, I didn't hear anything you said about like how many spells do I have.
You have. Hang on, I just had it. You have 3 first and 6 charges on Staff of Power.
6? I have only 3 first.
Yeah, no. Once again, Revivify
I had to use
to
some
come
of
and
your
happen.
spells, man.
Revivify had to happen.
So for me, I can't use level 2 or 3 right now.
Right
I had to use some of your spells to heal people, dude. We were dying. We were downed.
No.
It's
There was
fine.
not. It was far beyond downed. There was death, if I remember correctly. Like permanent.
Who
death.
died?
None of us died.
Oh, I thought one of you
People
did.
got downed, but no one.
One of us got down, but no one permanently died except the monk.
Okay, well, forgive me for minor confusions.
Okay, so I have a few like 3 level 1 spells, and I have 6 charges on my staff.
Yes.
And how many monsters do we have to fight left?
Well,
We have 3 really badass monsters that want us dead.
Okay, well, it was nice having this game while it lasted.
I mean, you've got options.
I've got a plan. Guys. I think I can get us out of it. You just gotta trust me a little bit.
Yeah, you're gonna use the phase velocity?
Well, you are all inside the cube at the moment, and I'm the person running with the cube who they're after.
Yeah,
They can't
keep
see
running,
through the
Seth.
cube, so I can hide the cube, bamf
Use
into
your
the
weapon,
cube.
Seth.
I tried that. I missed.
Keep using it so you can go to the alternate dimension.
We're gonna keep trying that, but right now, if I try to attack them, I will be destroyed before I have a chance to even blink.
What's the map? I can't. I have to see the map.
You haven't gotten into the military ward yet, so
Go fire a big cannon.
he does have the big cannon.
I do, yes.
It deals
Asha.
crazy.
I'm so confused right now because I'm still like going to new PC. Yeah, my new PC needs some like wiring, and there was like a problem that I'm replacing with it, so I can't use the new PC yet. So I'm using my phone now. So
Okay.
Okie doke.
For the big gun, I can use it at what level again?
3 levels higher than your current. So I believe that would be 9.
Level 9.
If we ever get 20, you'll be able to do
Level 23.
60. Oh.
It's,
Oh, 3 levels higher. I thought it was 3 times. Okay, never mind.
Yeah, no, the cannon's cool, but like, there is a chance that it detonates. Actually, let me. Do you remember how many charge? What your thing was? Because I do. In case if you don't.
Say that again?
Do you remember what percentage of instability your cannon has?
I have no idea.
Okay.
I thought you were recording it.
I do. I good thing I do have that. The answer is 45.
Okay.
45% unstable is not great.
Does that mean 45% chance of breaking down, or?
45% chance of triggering an instability effect if you crit fail.
Okay. Okay.
Well, I'm trying to be hopeful here, and I'm saying if we have like 3 deadly monsters trying to kill our asses, it would be a good idea to go to another dimension. Who knows? The dimensions might be fluffy.
I mean, you
Andy,
have
can I force a critical fail?
The only way to force an instability event would be to destroy the cannon.
Okay.
Do it, Seth. No, I'm joking. Don't do it, Seth.
Basically, ask someone to launch a nuclear bomb, I believe.
Just wait for all of them to climb up, get next to me, and then break the cannon right when they're near me. Nah, that'd be a horrible idea, wouldn't it?
Don't you dare.
Nah.
I mean, you can survive it. Technically, when an instability event happens, there are no lethal options. They're just really bad.
So we'll be fighting 3 baddies, or 4 baddies instead of 3.
No. I mean, let's be fair here. It could be a lethal encounter, but there's no guarantee.
Okay.
Well, that's reassuring.
Look, when you're messing with time, things get weird fast, especially in my setting.
Just do it like Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
Come to bargain.
Wait. Do I have my spiritual weapon active or no?
Spiritual weapon lasts for, I believe, 10 minutes.
No, really?
Let me double check, because you might still have it up.
Because it doesn't say any time frame. It says like 1 bonus action.
Duration 1 minute.
Really weird. Oh, 1 minute?
Yeah. So no, it would have faded by now.
I swear, I remember like one time I kept using. Yeah, and I can't reuse it again because I don't have any other.
Right.
Thank you. No problem. Thank you.
Well, command, detect magic, command, create water. Well, I can still use like healing in my like first level.
Yeah. First level has some good healing spells. I mean, you're not going to get as much health back as higher level stuff, but you're not out of the game yet. No one is. You guys are still very much in this game. You are very powerful beings.
Yeah, but we're on our last legs here, man.
Yeah, we need the direction of our Lord and Savior. We need God to have mercy on us.
Alright. And I mean, you've still got massive stuff you can do with the Staff of Power. Like, I'm just going through the list here, just looking through, like, you have options. You have a lot of options.
Yeah, but you're giving it to someone who doesn't know anything about D&D. I'm probably gonna misuse that option.
Yeah.
Like, probably there's like a secret thing, combo or whatever, to do with the Staff of Power that I have no idea about.
I mean, Cone of Cold will freeze people in a 60-foot cone. So, like, that deals a lot of damage, as does Fireball. Globe of Invulnerability.
The hell is that?
Jacob?
That's me. Hold on. Sorry. Oh, I'll be back one more time.
Globe of Invulnerability will basically nullify any spell of 5th level or lower cast from outside the barrier. So you have a 10-foot globe centered on you.
But here's the thing. This thing it can't be activated. It can't be activated forever.
That is true.
Last time, I swear.
But you can attack out of it, and so like there are once again, Wall of Force is also like you can just create a big wall around you, and
like how long is that like invulnerability thing? How long does it last?
Wall of Force lasts up to 10 minutes, which is 100 rounds of combat. Globe of Invulnerability is 1 minute, so 10 rounds of combat.
10 rounds.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, Wall of Force makes our attacks increase.
No, those are both defensive spells.
Defensive spells, okay. So also, some of them per se like nullifies the attacks.
That would be Globe of Invulnerability. So, like, they try and cast spells at you that are 5th level or lower. They just fail. They hit the barrier and stop working. Now, I do have to say, just trying to be fair here, casting Globe of Invulnerability is 6 charges, and so that's a chance where the staff might just stop working. But
And to us, like, I still have no idea how to recharge the staff.
Every day at the start of the day, you get some charges back. But this has all been in one day, so you haven't had to get them back yet.
I've been playing this game for 3 days, 3 weeks now, and it's still been 1 day.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's been like one 24-hour period, and it's been the longest possible day for you guys.
Oh my god, this day is a disaster.
I don't know about that. It's been a pretty good day.
I wish I could go back to sleep. This is too much for me right now.
Okay, so
When was the last time we met?
2 weeks ago.
What was I? Why couldn't I join 2 weeks ago? I don't remember. But yeah, making Seth play for him was like a terrible decision. No, I'm joking.
Actually, no. He did well. He did well.
Yeah, I know. I'm joking with Seth.
Mm-hmm.
We almost got our asses handed to us, and what had happened was we agreed to go with them, so they start leaving, right? And we pull Gale out of the cube and have Gale close the door behind them with his earthbending shit, and that leaves us with just one of the 4 party members staying behind to attack us. So then we gang up on his ass. He nearly kills us. We get him down finally, and then we just run like a bat out of hell, and they chase us because they bust down through that wall.
So wait, I remember at the beginning. Who's the one of us who charged for that room? Which one of us charged to that room first? I don't remember. No, you didn't. You wasn't with us. Which
room are you talking about?
Like that. I remember that thing I remember is the room with like people with the worm and stuff that we were like on like stasis or like the hexagonal thing, and we were attacking worm people. That's the last thing I remember.
Okay, that room, I believe it was, I think it was Gale who charged into there, being called by the Mind Flayers.
Oh, that room. I was thinking about the room that had the gun in it. That's the room I directly charged into, yeah.
Speaking of which, I actually have to pull something up, because I just remembered something crazy that I don't know how I forgot, but I did.
We also have a bunch of other, like, rescued people from that center room inside our cube, too, right?
Yeah,
so we have bait that we can throw out.
You're not gonna sacrifice people, Seth.
I am in control of the cube, sir. I will sacrifice if necessary.
Who gave you the permission to do that?
I am in control of the cube. I can bamf people in and out as I like.
How?
I mean, you have to be in contact with them in order to bamf them.
All I have to do is, flag football somebody.
And
who gave you power to do that, Seth?
Well, there is also... Hang on. There is also a thing of if you are unwilling, you can save against it.
Oh.
Yeah, so...
Well, I'm attuned to the cube.
There's a lot of people attuned to the cube.
Fair. But the people I bamfed in, those hostages we rescued, I doubt they are.
Question. Can you attune to the cube from inside?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm not going to throw out any of our party. I was just going to throw out maybe some of the people we rescued because we may not need them.
Oh.
You can do whatever the hell you want, Seth. I'm gonna go back to sleep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okie doke. Armed and ready. Got my character sheet, got my dice.
Okay. And cool. So, I guess we were kind of doing a bit of a recap, but is there anything else anyone would like to add in from the last couple sessions? Just quick questions, reminders, anything that's gone on that wants to be said?
Hopefully we won't die this time.
I'm ready to rock and roll.
Okay, well, unfortunately Aaron isn't here because I had a thing with him as well in it. But so, Aaron, if you are listening to this recording, this also applies to you as well. Yay. Okay, but for the sake of narrative, we cut back to when you are resting before the attacks, before the flee. Number 13. You feel your consciousness kind of pulled out of your body, and there's silver gossamer strands of light and almost cloud that kind of rolls across through a very dark mindscape as pinpricks of light begin to shine up. Wavers of colors, green, blues, purples. A night sky, but enhanced. You find yourself standing in kind of a very shallow pool of water with small black rocks and pebbles stretching out for miles. Small cliffs and rock formations jut out, and standing before you is a large stone monolith. It's hundreds of feet tall. The stone is it goes from the kind of black to a bit of a reddish brown as it goes up and up to almost like a clay like appearance. And you see from this stone like large tendrils that kind of interweave, and they've just kind of been frozen in place. So it reaches up into almost to a point, and then kind of from midway through, large sheets kind of arc out backwards, and it seems to be almost a statue of a creature holding a large bell. And from this bell there are stone tendrils that drop down to the ground, and as you're kind of looking, there's faint glows all around on this beach, these large stones. And you see kind of this inky black and blue creature kind of wavering around, and you see it kind of dart up into where the bell is, and kind of other ones. Some of them black and red, some of them black and green. Different color combinations kind of channeling into this as if it's a network, a mind. And you feel yourself drawn to it.
I will start walking towards it.
Okay.
And when I get to it, I'm going to put my hand on it and see how sturdy it is.
It seems like it's been in place for thousands of years. The rock is solid, cold.
And if I give it a good knock, does it tink, or is it is it metallic or rocky more?
It's like rock.
Okay. And you said there are these tendrils on the beach as well, right?
There are tendrils down, and it leads to nodes. You can kind of see them glowing faintly, but it's the same kind of rocky composition, but they're obscured in ways. But you see small, almost creatures, kind of moving up into the main monolithic form, and down into the nodes as well.
Okay. I'm going to try walking to one of those and pick it up.
As you get closer, it kind of grows larger as scale perspective is off here. It's both faster to move towards it and a little slower. Like you feel yourself just kind of move as your thoughts propel you to this location. And this node, it's maybe 6-7 feet long, 6-7 feet tall. It's almost spherical, but kind of stretched out into a slightly more oblong shape. It's kind of like a bean about the size of a VW bus. Now, I know that wouldn't make sense to your character, but just for...
Gotcha. Scanning. And I'm going to try getting to the top of the tower as soon as, like, the scan, my preliminary scan is done.
Here, let me just throw an image in chat of kind of what you're seeing. It's a lot more resolute as there is a lot more kind of de-resolute as there is stone kind of encrusting around it. But this is what the main monolith kind of looks like.
I'm going to try climbing up it, or thinking up until I am on top of the bell in the hands of this.
Okay. Go ahead and make an athletics check.
4.
It's hard to find purchase, even though you feel kind of alleviated by the strength and force of your mind. But it's hard to find purchase and difficult to will yourself up on this creature. It's almost as if it's willing you down simultaneously.
Hello, please identify yourself.
You see from the bell kind of a new beam of stone kind of begin to worm its way out. It kind of reaches towards the ground near you and opens up into 4 kind of quadrants.
I will look at it, then back down at the tentacle thing, and then step on top.
Okay. Step on top of what?
The 4 quadrants that have outreached.
It's almost like the stone, almost vine tentacle opened up at the end. It kind of just flayed outwards. So there's like a point, and it's almost like a flower.
Oh, okay.
4 points.
Is there a center of it?
There is.
Is there anything in it?
Right now, no.
I will step inside.
You kind of move closer, and you see kind of the darkened, oily potion, as you'd called it, that you had drank, kind of seeming to be ripped out of you, and kind of splotches hit onto this, and you see them kind of absorb into the kind of apex of this and begin to transmit up towards, and you see small flashes of light coming from within the stone. And as you're kind of watching this happen, a film begins to kind of intersect all of the points until it begins to start forming into this shape around you. It's slow. But it looks like it's going to consume.
I'm going to back out of the way.
Okay. It kind of retracts a little bit, and you see it start to kind of waver and pulse.
Does the statue itself look any different now?
It is completely solid and just there. It has not changed. It has not moved.
Who are you? Hello? Is there something you request of me?
You hear in your mind a single word. Dreams.
I can dream of electric sheep if you want, but there is an error in that statement. I do not dream.
You feel yourself move back towards the one node that you had stepped up to previously, and the rocky coating of it kind of starts to fall away, and you see the same kind of light blue film kind of show through, and there is a person inside of it just seeming kind of floating in the middle, asleep.
What do they look like?
They are elven in nature, kind of wearing green wizardly robes with silver edges and kind of embroidery on it. And you see kind of tendrils from inside of the film leading directly up into kind of the core apex where the black oil had seeped from you into it, and there are just tendrils kind of all across their face, just kind of almost resting there. Their head is towards the facing towards the line directly into the statue.
Is this Umaris, if I remember? Or Umris?
It is... go ahead and roll me a perception check.
Oh, 2 plus 3, so... Oh wait, no, wisdom. Sorry, for 7. Sorry. That's actually 1.
It could be, but it's kind of hard to make it out other than this seems like another elven individual with kind of a similar garb, but you don't see any tools or weapons around. It's just an individual at peace, just kind of floating and being.
I'm going to just look around and opt for a beat, and then walk in and try grabbing them and pulling them out.
Your hand kind of hits the barrier, and it's a little bit cold to the touch. It ripples as though it's liquid on the inside. It's there's a film over it, but it's you might be able to if you attack it to break through and break the film. And
I will take out the Vorpal sword and slice it.
go ahead and make an attack roll.
That is 26. 26.
Okay, you definitely hit, and your blade kind of carves into it, and the liquid inside of it gushes out like a kind of neon glowy blue, and this sack kind of evaporates. Well, not evaporates, but folds in, and the individual kind of floats down to the ground inside of it. The light slowly fades until it is the same mid-level ambient lighting that is around you on the Sea of Stars.
Hello, and I'm gonna try to wake them up. Hello, are you conscious? Hello.
Go ahead and roll me a perception check and then an arcana check.
Okay, perception nat 20.
Nice.
Arcana nat 20. I am not joking. 2 nat 20s in a row. Heck
awesome.
yeah.
Okay. You see this individual and they're a little bit see-through. And kind of from them, there is a long silver cord that seemed to have gotten tangled up with. And that you see that that's what these smaller bits were latched onto when they were in the tank. It was kind of hard to see before, and they've kind of let go, but the individual still seems to be asleep. But kind of...
Going to cut it.
Okay. 1 second. I have to find a rule about this. Okay.
Most straightforward way through this solution is the one number 13 is gonna take. They're not awake now. If I cut the cord, they might be.
It affects specifically. Okay. Cool. Go ahead and make an attack roll.
That is 12.
Okay. You kind of hit onto this silver cord, and you almost sense the sword urging for power. Are there any spell slots that you would have on there that you would like to expend?
Can I expend Infernal Conduit?
Sure.
I'll expend one of the Infernal Conduit dice to, like, charge the sword with rippling red electricity and try slicing it one more time with a...
Okay. Go ahead and make, if you're attacking again with this, go ahead and make another attack roll.
That'll use 17.
Okay. You see the blade hit, and then kind of from that point, the Infernal Conduit energy begins to kind of creep along, and you see the cord begin to fray into hundreds of pieces, and it seems as it reaches closer to the individual that they are themselves being ripped apart, and like pulling a string from fabric. It is just unweaving them, and soon there's kind of a mess of just ethereal silver string that slowly just begins fading into the ether where the individual once was. Go ahead and roll an Arcana check again.
Okay. Arcana is 17.
Okay. And then go ahead once again in Perception again as well.
Perception is 16.
You kind of, in doing this, you see that you too have a silver cord kind of emitting from you. It doesn't necessarily have a point of origin, but it goes up about a foot and then slowly just becomes invisible and intangible, just reaching into the stars.
Where? What is it that you... What are you? I talk to the giant stone monolith one more time. And with no response, I'm just going to put up my greatsword on, or my vorpal sword on the back, take out my switchblade, charge it with 2 Infernal Conduits, and just cut it.
Are you sure you want to do that?
Well, not anymore. I mean...
Go ahead.
Yeah, yes.
As part of... You had a high Arcana check. Are you familiar with the spell Astral Projection?
Yes. And I'm assuming that's what this is?
It's a sort of that.
Okay. So by cutting the string in astral projection, would you be forced back into your body, or would your astral self be lost?
Separates the two forever.
Oh. Oh no, I just killed a guy. Oh no! Oh no! I just doomed someone forever to head on to the astral sea. Oh, sorry, Umarus, if that was you.
That's why I wanted to make sure. I mean, luckily you did have a high enough Arcana check that I could give that information.
Okay. Well, as soon as I know that like in my robot brain processes that information, I'm just gonna be like, and slowly put the dagger back in my pocket, very slowly.
Okay.
Back away from the tendril thing. And is there any more of those figures in this stone?
Yes, there are probably 20 more near you, and maybe 100, 200 total. There's a lot of them.
Okay. I'm going to try popping all the bubbles, just like by getting a running start and just slicing them all.
Okay. Okay.
Not the strings, the bubbles that they are in.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm not even in a rush. I'm just slowly, methodically going to each one. Pop, pop, pop.
You get to the next one, and it does the same kind of thing where it implodes a bit and then starts leaking the blue fluid, and the individual is kind of lowered down to the ground. This one is... You see their face is kind of sunken in. Slightly greenish skin, darker hair across, ornamental beads and armor and leather armor, kind of very intricately engraved with symbols of lines and circles, and kind of in a pattern that... go ahead and roll me a history or insight check.
Or
just
I'll
general
go.
intelligence.
Okay. I'll just go history. It's just the same as general intelligence.
Okay.
That is 14.
Kind of looks like a map.
Like a what?
Like a map.
Map. Okay. Can I save that to my database?
Sure.
Okay. And is it a map of this place?
It is not only in a language and style that you've never seen, but nothing actually seems to match up to it right now.
Very well. I'm just gonna keep popping bubbles.
Do you speak Gith?
Whoa, actually, do I? No, I do not.
Okay. Yeah, then you don't know the language. By the time you get to the third one, you hear stone begin to kind of break at the monolith.
Yeah,
you pop the third one. Inside of this one is a halfling. Kind of.
No, I think I killed Umris. I think I killed Umris, everyone. I'm sorry, I think I killed Umris.
Yeah.
Win some, lose some. Am I right? Am I right?
And the stone actually begins to kind of twist and break and come apart. And this individual, you see it kind of breaking, and there's kind of tendrils. It looks much more high resolution, kind of similar to the image underneath the stone. And you see these another kind of tendril kind of reach out towards you and do the same kind of splay open thing. Dream with us.
I'm gonna look at it, and I'm just gonna go to the next bubble.
Go ahead and make a charisma saving throw.
Nat 20.
Okay, you
know I got a 6 at the beginning of the session to see how it went, but I don't think that's how it is going at all. I have rolled 3 nat 20s in the past 5 rolls.
Wow.
B6.
Okay. You approach the next node. Do you pop it?
Slowly, methodically pop.
Okay.
Till I either hear something else from this thing, or like get some sort of semblance of answer in some way.
Okay. In this one, there is a kind of large Goliath. You see across their body that it's kind of painted with images of kind of psychic abilities. Kind of like this would be their shaman or kind of an invoker. And they have... It's very scantily dressed, but kind of long beard on their face. And kind of the node begins to drain. Go ahead and make another charisma saving throw.
Hold up. I need to turn on my camera. I just got another nat 20. Okay, hold on.
God.
I need to show I am not BSing. I have rolled legit 100%. I swear I'm going to turn on the camera and like it's just going to jinx everything.
That's crazy. Oh my god.
Another nat freaking 20.
That is amazing. Luck.
Oh. Let's scroll down in the monitor. Boom.
Yeah, wow. That is wild. But yeah, no. You resist it going against you, and you can continue with what you're doing.
I'm gonna look at it one more time when I get to the next bubble, pulling out the Vorpal sword, and say, "Where am I, and who are you?"
You kind of feel pulled back, and it's almost like you're seeing a spider web kind of splay out in front of you, but at each different point there are stars and minds and intelligences, each one dreaming. And though no word is uttered, the words do kind of come to you. Dreamweaver. You see these kind of connections. It kind of just extends outward further and further, each point of light like a star in its own galaxy, where this is the center. This is the end-all point, and it seems to just go on forever and ever, in all directions and in all times.
What am I doing here?
You see... go ahead and make a perception check, actually.
16.
Okay.
Plus minus 1. 15.
You see kind of where the rocks had kind of broken apart as it had moved slightly. That creatures, similar to the one that you had seen with the Penumbra agent and with the Jiraki back in Koratos. They're kind of creeping their way up across these different tendrils and kind of reforming into the stone around it. It seems to be almost using them or made of them.
Made of the stone or the people?
Made of the creatures.
Creatures.
The quarry. I mean, you probably wouldn't know that word, but...
How did you say they were? There were here that I was able to see in total. Any in the bubbles?
There, it's a field of maybe up to about 200. Like, there are a lot of them.
And I have all my items on me?
Yeah.
And it's still beckoning me with the tentacle out, right?
Yep.
Okay. I am not going to do that. Although that would be cool. I could do a really cool thing right now, but I don't think it will go well. So I'm not going to do that. I am. I'll step into it. Yeah. And the moment I'm gonna do something, the moment I feel like I'm either losing consciousness or something's taking over.
Okay. The film begins to kind of splay out around you and kind of begin to form around you into the same kind of node that all of these others are in. And you just kind of feel yourself floating backwards as the smaller little tendrils kind of come in and they kind of start clasping themselves onto the silver cord. You kind of just float backward and go ahead and make a Constitution saving throw.
Okay, so I feel something happening, right?
Yeah, stuff is happening.
Okay. Like, I can feel it in my mind?
Beginning to, yes.
Okay, in that case, really quick, as soon as like one of the tendrils like start clasping onto the cord, I still feel in control though, right?
Yes, right now.
Okay, I'll see where it goes for now. Constitution, you said?
Yep.
Is saving throw?
Actually, go ahead and just do this as a general +5 saving throw.
Oh, cool. That was my Constitution saving throw anyway.
Oh, okay.
So that is 13. I don't know if you can see it.
Okay.
So 18.
The moment that this kind of first hits, you kind of feel yourself... You almost become more aware of yourself and see yourself fragmented across different time spaces. Like, there is you right now. But if you kind of look around backwards, you see other yous looking back of all forms. Some of them warforged, some of them much more humanoid.
What is this?
Go ahead and roll me another +5 ability check. This would be for...
Well, there we go. That's that 6 at the beginning of the session. So +5 would be 11. Oh. Just got knocked real quick.
Okay,
I'll be back.
no problem.
Sorry. 1 second.
Oh boy, this is interesting.
Someone. Hold on.
Okay. Sorry for the extended opening cinematic for everyone else. We'll get
It's okay.
This is probably going to be over shortly.
It's okay.
Okay. I'm going to need to... Actually, this is good, because I need to copy something out of my book. Okay. This one. You get... There is definitely a possibility where number 13 just gets a multi-class right now. Okay, where are you, Anachronist? Okay, and... since we're on a momentary break here, for the sake of Seth and Tanner, since you've met this character before, you know the one warlock you've encountered a couple of times, Ellie's? This is her patron.
Is this no armed person that we're talking about?
No. This is the pirate captain from the other campaign.
Oh, okay.
This is her patron.
What do you mean?
She's
a god?
warlock. Like, basically, yeah.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Yeah.
I'm still drawing a blank. Was that the campaign where I was the
That's when
shark man?
That's when I started off with the gun.
Yeah, you were the shark.
Okay. I'm remembering. I remember that armored dragonborn knight.
She actually also showed up in the one that we had started but didn't get to finish, where you had gotten on the pirate ship when there was a mutiny. You were a druid there.
I was a druid.
Yeah.
Oh, was this the person that caught my disguise?
Yes.
Ooh.
Yeah.
We weren't talking about anything.
Don't worry.
Okay. Anyway, I'm back. Sorry. Someone wrote the N word in the central stairwell of West Hall.
Well, that's a thing that happened. Okay.
I didn't know it was
Yeah,
comedy.
yeah.
That's
they think they're so funny.
Speaking of Webster, I'm not there right now, and I realized that's where my character sheet's been for 2 weeks.
Oh,
So
no.
if I ever have to roll anything, I'm gonna look at that 4th level sheet I sent to Andrew and imagine what it was with like one more.
Just dream.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. So what was happening again? I super apologize.
You kind of were
for 1 second.
seeing yourself fractured across multiple
yeah.
timescapes and multiple realities. All of the yous that have ever existed and will ever exist.
What is this? Hello?
And then you kind of moves in closer to you, and they kind of spiral and just begin drifting farther and farther apart.
I'm going to chase one. I'm going to try grabbing the nearest one.
As you make contact with it, it kind of melds into you and just kind of... go ahead and roll me a D100, please.
Oh wow. Okay. Sentai, let's go. 79.
Okay. That's going to have interesting consequences. Cool. Good to know.
As soon as that one vanishes, I'm like just trying to grab another one. Like I'm just freaking out right now. I'm like, hello, please come. What is? Where am I? What's happening?
You're able to kind of chase around and catch up with several others, and they kind of just fold into you as well. And you see kind of cracks that kind of are around them just kind of heal up, and until you are alone in an empty space. Go ahead and roll a wisdom saving throw.
15 minus 14.
Okay. This isn't real. This is in your head, you think. Kind of. It's showing you something, or more like you're connecting to something else. But this isn't happening to you. This is the spiritual form almost of your spiritual forms.
Ugh.
Oh, we just went to the next level of Inception.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, this is getting...
Where do I don't understand. What am I supposed to do? Where am I?
And just at that moment, you kind of see yourself back on the on the standard astral sea, kind of floating backwards as these mini tendrils kind of are extending themselves from and just kind of latching themselves further onto your silver cord, just connecting. And the pod itself is fully around you, and it just kind of begins to fill up with this very neutral fluid, and you just kind of feel yourself suspended in there. Is there anything you would like to do?
As I'm like in this chamber, and they're like trying to grab on more and more, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to vile form, turn into a shadow.
Okay. How would that... Oh man.
And as soon as I do, I'm like definitely trying to get out. I'm gonna like try getting out of the bubble.
Hang on a second. So you're turning into a shadow. So you... Okay. So you do the vile form thing, and So you're becoming corporeal in an incorporeal realm. Okay, that'll work.
Inception.
Oh yeah, no, this is crazy. This is crazy weird space magic stuff. You kind of feel yourself pull back, and you see the kind of tendrils beginning to lose their grip on you, as it almost seems like you're slipping away from them, and you drift, kind of rotating slightly just among this, and then you kind of float through the walls of it, and it's you can pass through. It's like you're not there. It's you're passing through the different barriers and the opalescent waters and energies and such, and you feel yourself being pulled back, almost like you're like a bungee cord snapping back, and
I'm just following through.
You're back inside the cube where you were before, and
Error.
not only that, not only are you continually reading errors, you are fully aware of your full backstory.
Oh, let's go! Okay. In that case, like, who's in the cube with me right now?
That's a ton of errors.
Who's in the cube with me right now?
Right now, everyone but the general.
Okay. So I assume this is morning?
This is... This is not morning. This is the same night. Same encounter.
We're frantically running for our lives.
Gotcha. Well, you are.
Yeah,
We're in the cube with you. In the cube, being carried.
I'm your taxi.
Yeah. I'll tip you a 20 on the way out.
Appreciate it.
Or at least everyone's gonna see error.
And you don't gain a level of warlock. That's convenient. Well.
Fair. I'm going to stand up and like look at everyone like, oh, hold on, oh,
like you know everything that has happened to you.
Yeah, I'm just going to. Everyone's probably just going to see number 13 pacing back and forth, holding their head, just continuously right now. And I'm probably going to continue that for a while, just like, what, I don't, but, who I am me. Who I am is... Ooh. Okay. So... Lepticus?
Yes.
I am... woman. I am... So, Lepticus. You, well, oh god. What the... Okay, so... What are we doing right now? Sorry, catch me up.
Huh?
What is happening outside the cube right now? Just give me a quick catch up, please. Just for my own sake and my mind, soul, my brain? Question mark. I do not understand what is happening right now.
What does 13 look like to me right now?
Same as he always has.
Same as he always has. Hey, 13, what have you been up to recently?
Well, I have... I've been in a spirit world, which was interesting. And this thing, and I'm gonna like show the codex number. I think saved my life from being sucked into a never-ending sleep. But other than that, I am having. It's weird. I'm having a hard time remembering, which was never a problem when I didn't have memories to remember. But now that I do have memories to remember, I'm having. And I'm just gonna look at my arms and go like, "Oh my!" And I'm just like continuously squeezing and unsqueezing my hand.
I do not think one of your constitution would be vulnerable to intoxicants.
Not now, maybe, but I suppose. Oh my. So, okay, Lepticus. Long story short, I was a farmer. I am. Oh, wait. We have to go. Where are we? What are we doing right now, Lepticus? Please.
I feel like the long story would be easier to understand than this.
Okay. Long story. I need to find my family. That is somewhere east or north of here, I believe. I am kind of freaking. That has never happened before. Freaking out right now.
Oh, there we were.
Okay. So I'm not this. This is not, and I'm gonna like fully, like take off my cloak for like the first time ever, and you're just gonna see my entire metal head, instead of just like the front, and like my arms, which are all made of metal and definitely not armor. You can see by how it's like bending and so on. And like I am not a I'm going to call it a robot, just for simple terms, because I feel like that's a word that's been going back and forth. And what about, how about this? A forged. I am not a forged.
What is your name?
My name is Noel.
Uh-huh. Just to clarify, a day ago you were 13?
No, I am, I was the number 13 of boy soldiers in the black whatever it's called, error, invalid provisions, error. I am not going to get used to that. I was a farmer, and I died, and then I became this.
Okay. I'm understanding. You've regained all of your memories and remembered who you were before becoming that.
Yes,
Point to the
yes.
robot parts.
And now I need to find Kara, Maroon, and Cherry right now.
Who?
I need to find my family.
Oh. Okay. All right. I understand. What were we doing?
Right now, since we had kind of jumped a little bit back in time, this was during rest before the general got you for the watch once Penumbra had breached the Gnosis Ward. So you are resting right now.
That was both me and Lepticus asking.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, we're not doing anything right now. I suppose we're getting ready to do something.
I suppose I can just wait for the general, who seemed interesting. The threat level, I want to say 85. I have here for some reason,
That's a safe bet.
and I don't know why I know that, but I do. Well, I know why I know that, but I don't know how I. I don't have eyes. I don't know how I am seeing right now.
Well, I think it's best just not to worry about that.
Huh. Okay.
If you
Uh,
can see, then all is well.
Yes. I can see, right?
Maybe.
I'm gonna look at Lepticus. Am I looking at you right now?
Yeah.
I think so. How many fingers am I holding up? And I hold
5.
up just one thumb.
Oh, 1. One. Well, okay. Are we counting thumbs? Are thumbs fingers or digits?
I don't tell you.
Uh, we're holding up one thumb.
Okay, close enough. I think your vision works.
Okay. Um. There are lots of things in here, and you're just gonna see, like, as Noel number 13, all of a sudden eyes just sort of go green instead of their normal like reddish hue, and just like flashes of black going like up and down, like freaking code searched through. I'm just gonna stay like that for a while.
You good?
Yeah. The Black Tier has loaded me with a lot of things. I see this now. One of which is this handy dandy voice changer that I didn't have access to fully before. But I think this can come in handy.
I can hardly wait.
I think I can hardly wait, and it's just going to be a complete duplicate of your voice.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers.
Your Piper, pick the pack of pickled peppers.
Damn it.
Damn it.
Miro, you are also having. Oh, he's
Believe.
left.
He'll be back as soon as he can.
Okay. No
I'd
worries
like
then.
to imagine that exchange goes on until someone stops us.
Yeah.
Lepticus constantly says the biggest tongue twisters he can imagine. And 13 responds perfectly.
Oh, please.
Or sorry, not 13.
And then to bring us kind of to the present, you end up, well, yeah, kind of end up splitting off a little bit eventually, and Noel, you make your way and kind of begin working with some of the other inhabitants of the cube who are working with the proto-mind flayers. Lepticus ends up heading out, and we cut back to present moment, where number 13 was in, where you're all now back in the cube. There's a general air of worry and unease. The general is the only one who is outside of the cube, and actually completely unaware of the null situation. Yeah. Back to present day. A little bit of a flashback
Whee!
aside. Okay. So, General, outside of the cube, what would you like to do? You are outside of the military wards.
I'm gonna run in and try and see how far away I can get from these guys.
Okay.
I need to look for a good place. I want to look for a good place to hide the cube that they wouldn't be able to see it, and they wouldn't even be able to see its light.
Okay. So this is basically like the Department of Defense. It's a very bureaucratic building. There do seem to be kind of like hangars and areas in the back, but those are walled off by large doors. But otherwise, this is kind of a general office setting with a kind of large foyer and large areas where kind of business would be held and people would be meeting and, well, conducting the business of war.
Okay. That sounds like a good place to hide or look for a place to hide. If there's like some desks or boxes or crates nearby.
There are some desks, but they are more similar to the one that you found in the Gnosis Ward, where it is just the flat surface with the technographical runes kind of inscribed upon it.
Oh, shit. Does it look like there's any boxes or anything around? Like something I can shove it underneath or shove it on top of out of sight?
Go ahead and roll me a perception check.
Oh, shit, I don't have good perception. I roll... Oh, no, I rolled a 1. This is not going to go well.
There are smaller niches that you could probably get it into, but it would be kind of hard to disguise fully. Like, you could probably get a good 3 out of 4 sides of it covered, but that's about the maximum that you can see at this point. Sorry, 3 out of the 6 sides. Math. Yeah. Cubes are 3-dimensional.
Shit. It's probably more than enough to be seen. And there's no, like, crates or anything, or, like, chests or something that could hide the light?
There are kind of several office areas. Like, you'd have to enter and, like, actually check each room.
So there's multiple rooms, you're saying, with, like, closing doors?
There's kind of 2 floors, and there's a large central foyer, and stairs kind of leading up on both sides that will lead to individual offices.
I will run into one of the individual offices to hide and jump into the cube.
Okay. The cube kind of clatters to the ground, kind of nestles itself a little bit in a corner, and you are inside of the cube.
The first thing I want to do is I want to turn on my blood sight and see if I can see through the cube.
You cannot see through the cube. Go ahead and mark off a hit die.
Okay. Oh, shit. Where do I write that? I'll put a tab on my phone. Okay. Alright. I'm back inside the cube. Now what?
You're inside the cube now with everyone.
Okay, guys. We're on a whole new level of fucked. Oh, shit. Hang on.
Well,
we seem to be pretty good at overcoming our records.
yeah. I've noticed that about this group. We do have surprisingly good teamwork stats, though, which is interesting. I think we work well together. I'm sorry. This is all in a file in my brain, question mark. I'm gonna save that for later.
Are you feeling okay?
And I'm going to directly in his voice, do I sound like I'm feeling okay? And it's your voice.
Oh, what the hell? That's not okay.
Right?
Did I just hear you sound confused as to whether or not you have a brain?
Yes. Yes. I am unbeknownst whether I do or not.
Who broke our robot?
I prefer to think of it more as fixed.
We don't have time to worry about that, 13.
It's no.
Oh, whatever. News flash. There are 3 really powerful people coming to mow us down.
Oh, we've dealt with people before.
Well, this is the leader of Penumbra with his gang. I managed to get us in the cube. We're hidden. They can't find us with blood sight, but that doesn't mean they can't try to narrow down where we are, and that doesn't mean they can't find the cube. We need to get back to strength and deal with these fuckers.
Question: does blood sight work on me?
No.
I mean, I can start running the rest of the way.
That sounds like a good idea.
Alright.
Awesome. Also, I'm not attuned to the cube. I would need someone to pick me out and say, like, maybe give it... check on me every hour or so, just to make sure everything's going A-okay. Maybe 2.
I'll do that.
Okay, awesome. Also, I worked for Asmodeus, the demon. I'm ready to leave the cube now.
Well, that's a cool tidbit.
You go get him, champ.
Thanks.
It's not, like my grandmother's name isn't Guitar or something.
Okay, so who's bringing number 13 out of the cube? Null out of the cube.
I am.
Okay.
I am. Is it Null or Noel?
Noel. N-O-L-E.
Noel.
Oh, okay. Noel.
For those who are counting at home, Noel and number 13 is the same in lead speak.
I don't know what that means. What's lead speak?
It's like when you
like
use numbers for
N-O.
letters.
1 is L and 3 is E, so together it makes Noel.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Oh, I see it.
Okay. The two of you exit the cube. And both of you roll me a perception check, please.
Oh, no.
Scanning, I suppose.
Shit, I rolled a 5.
Oh, I did worse. I got a nat 1.
Okay.
I don't know how to scan. I know how to scan, but it's hard to think.
Okay, General, you are able to get the cube to Noel, and you feel a twist in your gut.
God damn it, they're still after us.
I mean, I can question, Andrew.
Yes.
The vial form. Do I still have access to that?
You have used
here?
it.
Okay, I've used it for. Okay, got it. Want to make sure, in case it wasn't a layer upon layers, it was just a dream state where I could think of that. But
Nope, you have used it.
awesome. Okay. Well. Okay, go ahead and get back in the cube. I'm gonna try my best out here.
Okay, they won't be able to track you, but you better start moving ASAP because they know where we are right now.
Yep. And I'm gonna grab the cube, like push it to his forehead like a Pokeball, and try running. Like, just getting... I know how to run as number 13, and I feel like it's weird because I'm trying to run as Noel now, but I am built different, quite literally.
Go ahead and roll me a stealth check.
Okay. Have disadvantage on those? I do not. Haha, I got the new armor. A long time ago, it's not even new. Plus 6, so 20, not natural.
Okay. As you kind of taking steps around, you hear... It's weird hearing kind of the metal on this kind of ceramic, and it's almost glassy, but there's definitely a sound, so you kind of get a feel for it and kind of just make your footsteps as discreet as possible.
What do I have prepared? I have a lot of healing spells because I was expecting to heal those people. If I in a pinch, I can use command. That's my last resort right there. I also have the codex. And as soon as I feel like it might be clear, I'm going to head off in the opposite direction of wherever those other footsteps are coming from.
They seem to be kind of entering the foyer.
Okay. In that case, I will... have to open up Owlbear Rodeo. Nope, okay. I will leave through the opposite of the foyer.
Okay. In order... I suppose I'm kind of doing a bad job of describing, because this is like one chamber, and so you are in a office area that opens into the foyer. Like, they are entering, and so you would be like coming out through the door, and they would be right there. outside of.
Okay. How tight is the walls and or ceiling of this room?
This room is kind of a rectangular prism. It is probably about 5 by 7.
Awesome. I am about 6 feet, so I'm going to try spider walking up the wall with my hands on one wall, feet on the other, and go above the door, hoping that they passed.
Are you still in the office area, or are you going into the foyer? Because that is much larger. It goes maybe 50 feet up.
Office area.
Okay, so you're just going to stay in there and
Not the room they are in.
Perch above the door.
Yes.
Gotcha. Okay. Go ahead and roll me a stealth check with advantage.
Okay, well that was a 2, and then that one was an 11, so 20 or 17.
Okay. And go ahead and roll me a perception check.
13.
What was that again?
13.
13? Okay.
Ironic.
You start hearing footsteps outside the chamber, and they're getting closer.
Okay, just gonna continue holding above the door if I can. Like, I guess I'm mimicking grunting as if it would need physical labor, even though it doesn't. And I know that it doesn't, and it's weird how I can't feel my organs. So yeah.
Okay. The door creaks open beneath where you are. Go ahead and roll me one more stealth check with advantage.
I hope this goes well. Oh, that first one's a 19, so plus 6, so 25.
3 individuals. Wait, you said 25?
25. 19 plus 6.
That is good. That is really, really good. Oh, wow. Okay. Cool. You see 3 individuals enter the room. The door swings open beneath you, and they kind of move in, one after the other, impeccably quietly. They look around, and like you can just feel the tension in the room, like you are stressing. They wander around towards the desk. 2 of them kind of seem a little bit more oblivious as they wander around. Another one walks behind the desk, looking kind of out towards. And then looks up a little bit as your green eyes kind of piercing into the shadow a little bit.
As soon as they are looking up, I'm going to like turn my head almost completely 180.
Just one of them kind of notices where you are.
They know where I am.
That is a reasonable assertion.
Okay. I'm going to drop down and like close the door behind me and run out the way they came in.
Okay. 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 So, once you are outside of the office area, what do you do?
Running forward out of the complex, I suppose. If it's the opposite way, then it would be out, I assume.
Okay. For the sake of this, go ahead and roll initiative.
Okay, that's fair. Oh, that's not great. 6 total.
Okay, yeah. Okay. So you are just dashing right now?
Yep.
Okay. You hear the door kind of slam open, and these individuals rush out. Too far away, so he's going to dash and One of them starts to kind of chase after you, and they seem to be catching up, but they're not fast enough. Another of them moves about half the speed, and then there is an arrow loosed in your direction.
I'll take it as I run, or try dodging it. But if anything slows me down, I'll just take it and run.
Well, there are 2 arrows actually loosed in your direction. My mistake.
Okay. Armor class right now, because I don't assume I have shield exactly equipped because I'm just in mid-run, so that is 17 for AC.
Okay. One of them does hit, the other one misses. And the one that does hit, you see it kind of catch fire and kind of become intangible mid-air as they're using Fire Feather. And you take a total of 15 points of fire damage.
15, huh? Okay.
And now it is
I'm just gonna be like, ow! Isn't that more robotic and less Tim the Toolman Taylor? And I'm going to keep running, but I'm going to spin my head like 180 degrees as I'm like running forward, looking back at them, like, sorry about this, and I'm going to try casting Chill Touch at the floor as I'm running on it.
Okay.
I don't know if this will do what I want. I'm confused, but I am hoping that Chill Touch might make the floor slippery. Fingers crossed. It does roll an attack roll, but I mean it is the ground. I mean I can still do it. I rolled a well, I did roll a 4. A 6, so 10.
I mean, the ground does definitely become colder, but you don't necessarily see ice crystals forming.
Well, a robot demon farmer can try, and I'm going to turn my head back around and just keep running, using as much force as I can to just sprint.
Okay. That's the barbarian who goes next. You see them kind of run, and they get even farther than the ranger who was shooting at you. But they, once again, don't catch you. And everything around you is now dark.
Uh-oh. So, because I assume it's the spell I have too, which is darkness, correct? Yep. Okay. Back to my turn?
Yep. Well, no, sorry, it's the paladin, who is closer on your tail. Let me double check and see if they can see through dark vision. I
believe darkness is magical darkness. If they have dark vision, it does not penetrate.
That is true, but some of these guys have, since they have monster stat block as part of it, they do have a weird little thing where they can see through darkness, which is cool, but I don't see
through magical darkness. I get it.
Yeah, this guy doesn't. And he can't see you with blood sight, which is the entire reason you're out here, which is really good. So they're going to just... Okay, yeah. 1 second while I double check an ability here. Oath of Conquest, yep. I'm sorry, brain fart here.
Oh, that's cool. Give me time to think about what I'm going to do.
Okay, so... And there's only... How many channel divinity options does he have? So 9th level paladin.
Oh shoot, this is the same day I summoned the 6 shadows,
Yep.
isn't it? Oh no! My face.
I'm gonna just say that he has one use of it, right? Oh no, ooh, there it is. There it is. Wait. I'm a... where are you, stupid? Because I like... he's definitely going to try and hit as much as he can. But at the same time... Oh, wait, that's how he... Yeah. Okay, so it's not going to matter. Bonus action, you watch... Well, you can't see because you're in magical darkness. But as narrative, you watch as the paladin, their eyes begin to kind of glow blue as they change stances with their sword. And they use their movement to approach number 13 and are going to make 2 attacks.
Weakness.
At
damage.
Wait, would this be let's see, True Sight. Yeah, True Sight doesn't wanna... Yeah, it's gonna be at disadvantage. And so first one is... That's good, that's less good. That is a 22 to hit.
It hits.
Okay. Second one is... Oh, that's a natural 1.
Okay. That's good.
So that's...
Me. My needs.
They're going to expend a Channel Divinity Guided Strike on that one. And that's going to be also...
Well,
wait.
Didn't have to bring religion into this, but fine.
Hang on. So that would be 11 plus... Yeah, so same. So that would also hit. So that's going to be just 2 attacks just straight with their Holy Avenger.
Odds of survival decreasing. Not great.
You take a total of 30 points of slashing damage.
I'm at 15.
Okay. But that is their turn. It is the ranger who's going to move to... I mean, they're still in range, but they're still going to kind of chase after you moving. And they're going to... 2 arrows again. And let me just double check and...
Thought they had... Oh, wait, no, that was last turn.
They're going to... that's a bonus action, so they're going to place a Seal of the Phoenix on you. So you are vulnerable to fire damage while above 0 hit points.
I am a robot! No!
Oh wait, are you within 90 feet? Yes, you are.
Wait, I'm actually higher than that. Okay, cool.
And they're at disadvantage, because they cannot...
The last person who was at disadvantage got, like, Holy Avengery.
Yeah.
And, like...
But
Oh.
they only have 2 shots.
The other
That's a
person had
natural
2
1.
shots.
That's a miss.
Okay, that's...
That is...
good for me. We can
so
stay
that
safe
is-
one more day.
16 to hit.
Does not hit. Armor class 17.
2 arrows go firing into the darkness
Pink.
and miss you. Okay, it is your turn again.
Well, shit. Hate to eat and run, and I'm gonna use my ring to cast Plane Shift.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me D100.
You have no idea how much I want this to mess up. I want this to mess up so badly, because Noel is like, out of the frying pan, into the fire.
That is entirety of this situation.
Oh, wait, hold on. I'm going to turn on the camera, because every time I turn on my camera, the rolls are lower. So...
Well, you want you want this to be high, because you have a 20% chance of fail. And so if you roll a 20 or lower, that's going to be random.
Yes. I'm hoping for the random.
That is true, because spies don't. Who knows? I mean...
That's a 53. That succeeds.
Okay. In much the similar way as... Well, also, go ahead and mark that up to failure percentage of 25.
Yup.
In much the similar way as you've entered the cube, space-time around you kind of warps slightly, and number 13, or Noel, you are now standing in Yeadatum. Kind of the cosmic blue sky with black stone ground, buildings kind of all around you that kind of warp into being. And...
Has anyone seen me?
There are probably a couple dozen Dragonborn moving through this area, and you kind of see where there are areas up onto kind of the, I guess, main... Oh my gosh, I'm forgetting the word. Okay. There are several areas around where you see people kind of ferrying around and doing business and working on intelligence operations and such. But there are people who are around you right now.
I'm really sad that I asked the general to check up on me every hour, because this could go very south if they find an intruder in here. I'm going to, more robotically than probably a robot from here should be, start slowly walking towards the teleportation hub.
Okay.
Like, I'm extra putting robot into it, like I'm creaking, I'm like slowly moving, because like...
Go ahead and roll a stealth check.
Yeah.
And a persuasion check. Both.
Okay, stealth, that's good. That is 22.
Okay.
Persuasion, it's not bad. It could be better. Oh wait, I have proficiency in that, so that's actually pretty good.
As well.
Yeah.
So you can't roll below an 8.
I mean, I rolled 13 plus 6, which is 19. 19 and 22, not bad.
You're able to make your way there. Go ahead and roll me a perception check as well, actually. Sorry, there's a lot of checks involved with this.
Oh, I understand.
Real quick.
What?
Real quick, Marwan would like to, for not being able to get back on, his power and internet have both cut out.
Ooh, that... Oh, no. Well,
yeah.
At least you are in slightly other side of cosmic bullshit. So... Who knew there would be so much plane hopping tonight?
I know, right?
Oh.
Noel is just like... this roll is accurate, because I rolled a 5 for perception. Just looking around for... honestly, if they could get... if he could get his way... somewhere near... I don't think we came up with a name for it in pre-production, but I'm going to call it... I'll leave that for you to decide. Wherever Noel grew up. But anywhere not here is okay.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, wow. So, as you're kind of scanning around, you do see the space kind of fold around, similar to where you were a couple rounds later. And then, like someone else had warped in a similar spot. But then you just kind of keep making your way around and out.
Oh, that's not great. Okay. Portal hub, here we go.
Yeah, but you are able to make your way to the teleportation hub that you had been in before, without arousing too much suspicion right now.
Just trying to stay out of people's way as much as possible.
Okay, that is generally doable.
Yeah. And remind me, for the black tier, the portal hub, is it manned by anyone, or
It
can
is.
you just... Okay. I have a hard time explaining that. Okay.
It is made.
I'm going to walk in, as I did before, and just, like, stop at the front or the security checkpoint, etc.
Okay. The individual there asks for your mission report. For the information on where you're going.
I am headed towards searching. Sorry, this is me. Searching. I am headed towards Atheria. Or, I forget how you pronounce it. The Sadiriana? One of the main towns we started in?
Oh, Silurian.
Valeria. Okay, sorry.
Okay.
I cannot read cursive. What the heck?
Well, for one, it was kind of supposed to be a little bit weird because, I mean, I was trying to do it like this is a hand-drawn map, and so like people have annotated it. And
I am headed for Valeria for a spy mission.
okay, go ahead and roll deception. I mean, you're really good at this, but go ahead.
Honestly, I'm freaked out right now. I'm gonna give myself disadvantage on this.
Okay.
It's like, well, that first one was a 17, so I mean that's not bad. The second one was a 12, but with all my modifiers, that is a 21.
Okay. That is quite good. The individual pauses for a moment and then moves aside as they head to collect a warp core. Now this is going to take a bit of time.
Hmm?
And you see other individuals start to kind of funnel into the area, at least kind of lining up behind you, and then someone else kind of gestures over as kind of begins helping them out.
I am staying as a statue.
Okay. A minute pass.
What is everyone talking about?
5 minutes pass. People talking just kind of in there, just kind of if you're generally paying attention. This next mission is headed southward. They're kind of heading out towards Ravenforge.
Interesting. Okay.
But 5 minutes pass. 10 minutes. Like, it is taking a while and unnaturally longer.
A dribble of robot sweat. What to do in this predicament? I am going to slowly stand to the side and let whoever's behind me go in front, as if like, they should take priority because they are not a thing.
I mean, the area is manned by several members of the Order, and so like people will come up and then and then someone who is working within the teleportation hub will come and help them out and disappear back, collect a core, then come back out.
So, how long has it been since since the general has went into the cube?
Let's see. It's probably been a total of maybe a half hour.
Okay, cool. Still got a half hour to go.
Well, Actually, go ahead. Just for the sake of it, I know you're probably pretty good at this.
Now,
Go
he
ahead and
did
roll
say
me.
an hour to 2 hours.
Yeah.
When I first jumped in, so I could pop out an hour and a half later.
Yeah. Go ahead and just roll me a d20 as well.
I'm worried. The 2.
Okay. Good to know. Just kind of in general.
Don't like that.
In general,
what was that?
One of you see the individual. You're kind of in paying attention. The people who are going to Ravenforge. The person who is getting them their core comes out and beckons them into the chamber. They kind of place the stone down. You see it kind of melt into liquid, and they are off to their destination.
And the one who went in for Celeria hasn't returned yet, right?
Correct.
I'm going to go to the one who just teleported the other group and go, "Excuse me, I think there has been an error in some software of mine. I believe I have been here for exactly 10 minutes. I believe normal rotations take about 5.
One second, I have to. Okay, and one
Or
moment
piece
as
of sweat.
they look to him. Let me double check the status on that for you.
Thank you
And
very
they
much.
head, back in as well.
So there's no one at the counter or like the checkpoint currently, right?
Currently, yes. Correct.
Okay, I'm going to like try peeking back to see what's going on.
Okay. I'm looking for the. One second. Because I had a word, and I'm blanking on my word.
Good, it's all good. I do that all the time. Like miscellaneous ticks as I'm trying to go to the back, just like zzz, 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 zzz.
Yeah, no, it's like you just feel every moment like it's lasting significantly longer. It's stressful. Oh my gosh.
I'll be right back.
Okay. What are you guys doing in the cube, General?
Trying to at least get some rest to heal up. At least just recuperating.
Okay.
The best we can in the short time period. Because I'm expecting to not, be resting that long because I have to get out and check on him soon.
Mm-hmm.
13 is
that
greatly.
You see
No.
the first person coming return.
I will step back like behind the counter where I was and like stand straight up like I didn't move.
And they don't seem to be carrying anything with them.
The percentage, like, there's this constant. Noel now has like a percentage of failure at all times of any given task, just in the bottom right of his vision. So right now, like, that number went from like maybe 67 and like plummeted to 25.
They come to you and they're like, "We have no missions for Stidorthoken in Silarion."
Yes, I prematurely had to return.
Huh. Well, that makes some sense. Has your mission debriefing been completed?
Yes, I have had a mission debriefing. I was told to immediately go back in rushed orders.
Okay. Deception check.
Yeah.
Oh.
That percentage is going down to 20, baby. Disadvantage, right?
Oh yeah.
Well, that first one was. Oh, that second one was a nat 20.
Oh.
That second one was a nat 20.
Oh no, I'm so sorry.
The first one was an 8. So, I mean.
That's still good.
17.
Oh, only a 17. From an 8.
Only a 17.
Only plus 9.
Yeah.
That is most curious, I say. I'm gonna have to redirect you.
Very well, but I hope you are compliant in that you are going against the exact orders of Madame Sadachi. This was a associate order from the top.
Not familiar with that. With Madame Sadachi.
Madame Sadachi,
Not familiar with
current lead of the Toy Soldier project, and then the Dragonborn name of the project, I forget what it is, but I mean, Noel/13 knows.
That's what I was looking up. Steer Othoken.
Hero token.
I would report back to her then. It
Very
sounds
well.
like your mission might have come from there, and yeah, I'm sorry I can't help you here right now.
Very well. I shall be redirected. Thank you so much for your time. And I'm going to, like, turn around and, like, walk out.
Okay. Where do you go?
Okay.
I mean, I figure you're in like complete panic mode.
Yes, like, little bits of electricity are, like, dripping out, aside from sweat. Noel is going to, honestly, I think just subconsciously start getting, redirected to, freaking the main base for Madame Sadachi or whatever, but then, like, tries going to start, like, no, hold on. Do I know of anywhere else where I can get a teleport?
That's the main location. Go ahead and roll me a. Yeah.
Hold
Go
on.
ahead and roll me a history check. Because you would definitely remember things.
Well, I'm not the best at history. Ugh. Oh wait, no, history's intelligence, not wisdom. Heck yeah. That's still an 8 though, but 8 plus 2, so 10.
Okay. You are able to remember, like, there are possibly other places where you could get a teleport, but, like, there are none that are sanctioned. Like, this is where you'd go for a sanctioned teleport. But in memory, like, there are individuals here who aren't supposed to be here.
Oh.
From the time you had studied the documents back in Coritas.
Like, people in the main base that aren't supposed to be there?
Yeah.
Oh. Is this the same base?
This is...
Does it look...
Yay, Aditum. So, yeah. Let me just double check here. You are around here.
In the main chat, right? I clicked on that, and it brought to the spell scrolls and schematics. Is that what I was supposed to look at?
And then there's documents at the bottom that you had. Once again,
well, yeah,
entirely, but there is stuff. Because later on, kind of towards the very bottom, there was an official Faceless Guard deployment to Yeaditum. But there is the possibility that there are also already spies here now from someone else.
Gotcha.
So, I mean, this is not an impenetrable location. People can teleport in and out of it. It's just, you have to know what you're doing in order to actually get there.
Yes. Oh, God.
General, it's been about an hour.
Ready?
It's been about an hour since...
Well, does that mean I'm vamping out?
That's your call. I'm just giving you about time update.
Well,
Could be 30 more minutes, you know.
He did say 2 hours, so for some reason I just feel this hankering that I need more time to heal.
Okay. Completely reasonable.
Nolan is, in his mind, just like, trying to, like, SMS a message to the general.
Because you're not attuned to the cube.
Yep.
Oh, fuck.
So
okay.
So wait,
Is there a robotics,
message?
like... Sorry, go on.
I was just asking a side question. I was asking if he was attuned, he could send a message.
No, if he was attuned, he could just jump back into it.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so...
Okay.
Yeah.
Humph. Is there a, like, there's, like, a scrapyard for old stuff here,
Yes.
I believe. And, like, how often does, like, that place get, like, touched up or, like, trash compacted? Or is it, like, sitting around until someone needs something?
It's never trash compacted, which is good.
But
But it's kind of a... It's a general kind of, we're bringing in a kind of big load, and it's kind of like a loading bay. So it does usually get cleared out once a project has been fully transported in. Like, for example, if someone was in the Gnosis Ward and they wanted to just clear out a chamber, they could bring some devices from a scavenging mission and just place them all around a chamber and then warp that entire area within those charges into this hangar area.
Okay, I'll take that chance. I'll take that chance. Okay. I'm gonna go to there, and just try, like, going into that room, or hole or whatever. Like, try just jumping in, as it were, and just disguise myself as, like, a deactivated failure.
Okay.
For probably a long time.
Go ahead and roll me a deception check.
Okay. Not sure if there are guards guarding that either, or
And a
anything.
stealth check.
Okay. For deception, that is 24.
Okay, that's good.
For what was the other one? Sorry.
Stealth.
That is aye. That's not bad. Yeah. Proficient in that, so +6. 25.
That is quite good.
Yeah, 19.
You're able to make it into this chamber through the kind of general movements of the order. You don't seem to. There doesn't seem to be anyone following you right now. It seems to have shaken anyone who might have been on your tail. You're able to make it into there. Your access still works. You're able to enter the chamber.
Amazing.
You are able to kind of just power down.
Oh, no. I'm not powering down.
Okay.
That's a recipe for disaster there. I'm just going to sit down or lay down as if I am powered down, but still be aware, and probably time is going to pass oh so maple syrup slow.
Yeah. Okay. Time will pass at a rate of your choice right now.
Oh, okay. I didn't. Oh, Noel's like, oh, I didn't realize I had this setting.
Well,
and I'm going to
how
set.
How much time do you? You how much time are you doing this? Like before, just kind of, or I mean, I figure you said as long as you want, but.
I'm doing this until the general pops out.
Okay.
Or until someone walks in the room.
Half hour goes by. Nothing. It's just still. Quiet. $15 more minutes.
I pop out.
Okay.
I say, hi, this is close enough to 2 hours.
That's
Hi.
reasonable.
We are nowhere near where we were. We are in another imagined space. Like, imagine we're in a cube right now, but outside of this cube.
I was already in a cube.
Yes, you were in another cube. It's like Inception. We've incepted a lot today.
That movie hasn't come out yet.
That is true.
5 years exactly, according to my prediction logs. But anyway. So, long story short, we're in, I think the black tier, unless it got overrun by some place.
No, it's still definitely controlled by them.
Okay,
what is
cool.
the black tier?
You know how you are a member of the Penumbra, or were a member of the Penumbra, but they,
Yeah.
it's like that for me, but imagine stealth rogues instead of, like, bolstering soldier boys.
Okay, then. What's the plan here?
So, I have two thoughts. One, I could stay here for another day and give a shot at another teleport. If not, I think we got a chance, like a break into the portal place. There's a place where there's a whole bunch of different portals. With any luck, we can throw enough on the ground that they won't know which one we went to.
Do you think that if we were to take at least one day, so you said we could wait a day, do you think we could take a day to rest so we can get healed up before we start heading out to do this? Because we're all in pretty bad shape, you included.
Yes. During that day, I want to attune to the cube in case I need to make a hasty getaway or get you guys out of there.
What
Yes,
would
that makes
you
sense,
be
too.
attuned to?
That's the thing. Like, as soon as I attune to the cube, I think I would drop probably the Vorpal Sword for now.
Okay.
Because I want the Ring of Plane Shift as a scapegoat, and the Codex Umbra is awesome. So I think the Vorpal Sword would be the thing.
Okay.
Wait, what do you mean drop?
I have currently 3 magic items I am attuned to. I can only have 3, so I would have to de-attune to the Vorpal Sword.
Okay.
I would still have it, but I would be able to not use its full ability.
Yeah, technically you have more magic items, but you already can't. You're already pushing max.
Yeah. I also have armor. Wait, didn't I actually give that armor to someone?
Nope,
I
you
did.
still are wearing it. You're just not attuned to it, so you don't get the temporary hit points.
Gotcha. Okay. Wait.
It de-attuning to it does not make it not metal.
Okay. Awesome. So that's my plan. And I'm thinking I can either put the cube somewhere in here, and we can both vamp into it, decrease the chances of someone finding us. Maybe. That's still a big if, just to be honest. But at least we would all be together, and I would have a chance to attune to the cube and be able to maybe get us out of here. Or, by chance, rush past the station for the teleport.
So if we took that time to stay in the cube, if they saw it, and you said that's a big if, would they know what the cube is? Would they just be something they could easily overlook and ignore?
It might be something they could ignore, because there's a lot of, and I gesture around, a lot of failed projects here, some of which I wouldn't be surprised if it is still glowing.
I think we can take that risk then.
Okay. In that case, I'm going to like put the cube like under a bunch of like heavy scrap metal, and then just hold on to the general as we vamp into it.
Okay. You are inside of the cube.
Quick update, everyone.
Boys.
Quick update. We are in major trouble. We are in the center of a crime. Well, maybe not crime.
They've done a little bit.
A little bit of crime. What's a little bit of crime, really? We're inside the black tier. It is a stealth operation that sort of controls things from behind closed doors, if all goes well, for them. Not for, the people that get sent to kill other people, or the towns that might get leveled because they're in the wrong place. But other than that, they're pretty good.
Bummer.
Yeah. It's not a point in my life that I'm proud of.
I mean, they're generally the good guys, or at least positioned as such.
Yes.
And they like to make you think that they're the good guys.
They're all for the greater good. Like, if a town needs to be destroyed to save 1,000 other lives, then they would do it.
Yeah. Definitely. They're kind of the chaotic neutral of spy organizations.
Yeah.
Or maybe chaotic neutral verging on chaotic good.
Yeah. That right there. That one. One right there. I don't know where I got this voice from, but maybe I got it from somewhere other town.
You gotta work on that voice filter, buddy.
I'm trying to keep to my regular voice I had long ago. I still want to find I just realized I might be in some kind of demon pack with Asmodeus. I hope that doesn't change anyone's feelings about me.
I slap him on the back and say, "Why would it?"
Okay. My probability sensor said that you probably wouldn't, but yes, I have a probability sensor. I don't know how that works.
What else did your sensor say about me?
Danger level 83. Actually 82 now. You dropped one. I don't know what happened about that, but...
Well, I mean, is 82 good or bad? What's the highest you've ever seen? I think I need to up my game here. Get those numbers pumped up.
It usually doesn't go above 9,000.
Ooh, man, I'm scoring low, man. I'm autistic on your scale.
Oh no. Well, let's not go with that.
But... to be fair, so the danger reading isn't only just person to person. It also measures organizations, which the black tier is at 8,999, just below 9,000.
Do you have someone who follows you around and screams, "It's over 9,000" if you find somebody who's over 9,000?
No, and I don't know why I would. That's a weird thing to have.
I just feel like I would want someone to do that.
No, I don't know why, but I feel you're right. Opticus, do you want to be our over 9,000 follower?
I'll do that.
Okay, General, you're elected. General, you are promoted to Sergeant, or I don't know how. that works, but there you go. Anyway, while I'm here, I might as well try tending to these people who we kind of tried saving. I'm just gonna go over there and try to. Okay, what I'm going to do is Infernal Conduit, how it is that it's basically an electric shock from one hit points to the other, right?
Yeah.
Can I course the electricity through their body to give them health, but it's still electricity to the parasites? That is what I wanted to do. I am already one...
That would be a very high medicine check, but it's not, I guess, impossible.
Okay.
As he's walking over to do that, I let out a small laugh and say, I was thinking about dumping them behind us just to get the penumbra people off of us.
Well, that's kind of not great. I've tortured a few souls in my day. Oh god, I have tortured a lot of souls. Oh god.
Yeah.
Hey, what year is it?
What year?
Year is it?
1256 of the seventh cycle.
Do I know what year it was when I died?
Probably. Though I'm not 100% sure as what that is now, but it's been a while. You probably
okay.
I'm
gonna say around... like for now, I don't have enough time to think about that. Just for now.
Yeah, no, you spent a lot of time with the Order of Desolation, and spent a decent bit of time with the tier, but.
Oh, my sweet cherry has grown up. I don't know how Kara's doing, and Maroon, probably a young lady now. Oh, it's not great. Anyway, and I'll try it. I'm just going to talk to the person beforehand. Hello, I am Noel. I am your healthcare companion today. Do you comply? Say yes.
Who are you speaking to?
Because
you have,
we have 2 cards left. We have 2 test subjects.
Oh gosh. Yeah, technically.
I'm just gonna go up to let's say. Oh wow, what happened? Oh,
I just call them meat shields.
Actually, you have. Well, no, you technically have the one that you were able to get the worms out of. Then you have 2 others.
Which was Soldier 3.
Right. Soldier 3 is dewormed. But you have Soldiers 2 and 1 who are... I mean, like, Soldier 3 is still doing really rough. Like, you put them in a very bad place.
I'm going to cast Cure Wounds on Soldier 3 really quick. Just to get in front of everyone to give them a bit of comfort.
It helps. But I mean, like, they are still gravely injured. But Soldiers 1 and 2, you like, are those the ones that you're going to?
Thing is, I don't want to use people as test subjects now that they're not just numbers to me. They're people. They're souls.
Are you saying this out loud or thinking this?
Yes.
You're saying it out loud?
Yes, I am. That's a decision.
I'll pipe in the background and go, oh, it won't hurt him that much.
Yes, it will, Soldier 3 says. It hurts quite a lot.
He'll be fine.
I just Cure Wounds you.
Well, yes. It still hurts.
If we need to crack some eggs to make an omelet, we'll do it.
Okay, I'm going to try using the Infernal Conduit to do the electricity throughout the body to harm while using my hit points to heal the person themselves to like kill the worms at the base.
Okay.
And that's going to be on the thing is I don't want to just use the test subject here. I'm going to in my mind I roll a die to decide. And that die landed on Jadar.
Okay. Go.
This might is their dragon friend with them?
No, that's just from the mini.
Okay.
It's a familiar.
Gotcha. Jadar, this might hurt. You might feel a bit of pressure, but hopefully we will kill those worms inside you and heal you at the same time. Do you comply with your healthcare companion?
You see them kind of look up to you and, like, they look horribly sick. Like, their flesh is kind of graying. It's almost gotten to a point of necrosis.
I'll take that as a yes, and I'm gonna Infernal Conduit them.
Okay.
Medicine check, you said?
Yes, this is going to be a very high medicine check.
If there's any time at all, nat 20. Oh, that was I dropped it. It was 14 though. I did drop it, but that's pretty good.
Okay.
It's up to you. Take it or not.
Use it.
Okay, use it. 14 medicine. I'm not good at medicine. 13.
You kind of lay your hands across their chest. And so are you going to be healing from this and draining them?
No, I'm healing them, draining from me, but because it's still electricity, I'm hoping that it will kill the parasites within thee.
Okay. How many hit points are you pumping?
That is a 10 hit point pump. Wow, I'm at 5 health.
Okay. Kind of place your hands around and you feel the energy leave you and kind of ricochet into them. And you have no idea if it worked or not. They still look horribly sick.
Hellsight.
Hellsight. Hellsight is creatures that are using invisibility or spells to hide from you, right?
Oh, that are magically hidden. Okay, never mind.
Yeah.
Can't do that again.
You see him he kind of looks up to you and coughs, and there is blood and a tooth in it. Did it work?
I am unsure. I can't see the worms right. Does anyone have some kind of sense in here? I'm going to cast Detect Evil and Good, actually. And evil. I'm pretty sure those things are pretty evil, right?
I mean, they're doing what they do. It's natural. Nature can be, I guess, good and evil, but it's worth a
Try
shot.
it just in case. Casting Detect Good and Evil. Since the parasites in them.
This is... okay. What does it look like for you to cast Detect Good and Evil? Like, what... Are you communing with Asmodeus? Are you... How does this power come to you?
Yes, and, like, it is power of Asmodeus as transferred through a machine. I'm basically wiretapping Asmodeus with the machine body. Like, Asmodeus probably knows, of course, but, basically my neck just twitches a bit, and all of a sudden electricity from my neck just crawls up to my eyes as they open a blood red sparking with electricity, as I can, like, see good and evil now.
Okay. So as you're kind of looking at these individuals, it's wavering. Like, you get the sense that they're not bad people at their core. But you do kind of see a dark ichor kind of emanating from them at several different points in their body that is just pure darkness. Like,
Ninja
it's in all of them, except for like Soldier 3 and the people who aren't infected by worms.
Sad.
And it's kind of hard to pinpoint like a location, but like you can get the general body part. And
I don't want them to die.
they've all
just
moved
coughed
kind of
blood and said, "Did it work?"
towards the head. Like, this is like you're getting really close to like them going Mind Flayer. Like these parasites are getting close to their heads and into the brains.
Does anyone have any? Okay. We're gonna get conceptual here.
Okay.
Anyone have any diamonds?
Diamonds?
I'm asking everyone in this party. I'm asking Ren. I'm asking.
Ren does not have diamonds.
Sorry.
Well, Rube.
Rube.
They're twins.
What,
it's okay.
What
Okay,
do you
I was
need
like,
diamonds for?
Let's take this to the side, and I'm gonna take the general and Lepticus to the side. So, I have the ability to revive them, kind of. I used to be able to do it. Kind of. I can't do it yet. I can try to later. If that makes sense.
That sounds cool, but unfortunately, I'm fresh out of diamonds.
Yeah, I don't carry diamonds around.
Yeah. Okay, that's fine.
I can speak for Gale and Mira as well. They do not have diamonds.
There. Because I can lesser restoration them until we need to bring them back. That's gonna like sacrifice a lot of spell slots every day.
The other solution is I could go over there and pop a cap in their heads.
Yes, but still, no. They are human. Well, not human. They are beings.
We also could let them loose inside here as a distraction.
Order of the Black Tier definitely would have diamonds.
It's true. Okay. I think we need to plan a heist.
We need to rest before we heist, though, so we can get all our health back.
Yes.
But then we can heist.
Let's do it.
Okay. So you all ready up for a long rest?
I'm going to explain to them as well. We have something that can save them, but we need one more day. Hang on.
So don't let the mind
One more
worm
day.
eat you while we're gone.
Yes. That. And this is okay. One day.
Okay, so who would be keeping watch for the long rest?
I don't really think we need to keep watch because like no one's gonna be
Yeah, I
outside the
think we're
cube,
all
right?
just hiding.
Yeah.
Sure, no one would be outside the cube.
Well,
I mean,
it's better not to be outside the cube when someone finds the cube. Because if so, tomorrow morning, I can, like, grab the cube, then cast Plane Shift and, like, confuse whatever.
Mm-hmm.
How do we do this? We
'Cause,
need
like, your
something
ring-
that can...
Your ring only goes to here. Like, you can't cast plane
Unless
shift
we
from-
get that 25% chance.
Well, no, but even then, it's still to the plane you are on, so it doesn't function.
Oh, it's to the plane we're on? No! My plans are ruined!
Like,
My plans! I worked so hard on those plans! Now they're ruined.
I'm sorry. But yeah, no,
Fine.
the ring is... It only goes to this plane. and you have to be on a different plane to access it. So like, you're already here.
Oh. Question: can those balls go anywhere that like teleport people?
Like the teleportation cores.
Yeah.
They're each one is queued to its own location, but they have
we,
a
like-
library of them.
Yeah, but if we like grab them and then use one to teleport somewhere, and do we have the ones we grabbed?
You can steal them, yes.
Okay, that's just a general question. It might be part of the heist later. We're we're gonna do a little heist, everyone. We got this. What do you think, Lepticus?
Okay.
Okay, so you are planning a heist of basically the fantasy CIA.
Basically.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, part of me wants to say, let's cut it here. And so that way you guys can have time to just like fully discuss out the plans.
Yeah.
Alright.
But, hang on, let me just go ahead and roll a couple die. Okay.
If anyone finds us.
Feel free to mark off a long rest.
Hey, I am
So
back,
we're all
baby.
back on top. Yes.
Yes.
Also, I am not going to unattune to the Vorpal Sword.
Okay.
Knowing that now, I'm going to unattune to the Ring of Plane Shift and attune to the Cube.
Okay. Gotcha. Yeah, just
Because
wanna
we
make
can
sure you had all
also-
your information on the table. So you...
Yes.
Because like this is stuff that you would know based on where you are, based on your background and everything, and so like
Yes.
so yeah.
I feel like in the next session we're gonna have like maps pulled up and everything because I can literally like just make hollow projection map or something like that. I'm definitely cool with ending it there. I do have work tomorrow anyway, so I think that's pretty good for me.
I mean, I'll be able to play next Friday. I don't have my labs don't start till the 14th and 16th. So next Friday I should be able to play.
I think we should be good as well because like the TTRPG club that session that is might not be next week as well. It's gonna.
I can also do Tuesday evenings of the moment up until lab starting. But yeah, once the 14th rolls around, I'm probably not going to be able to play anymore.
Okay.
But I don't hold me to it. I just don't know. But that's probably what's going to end up happening.
Okay.
Okay.
So, just general note, as of updated from 5:44, we have 9 new people who are in the Discord.
Sweet. I have completely muted it, so I have no idea. Cool. Very
Well, since we're done, I'm going to take my sick ass to bed.
Good night.
Good night. Have a good holiday weekend.
Thank you.
See y'all for the heist
Oh,
next week.
Wait, we could. This sounds selfish, but like, do you have Monday off from school?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not entirely sure what I'm doing this Monday yet. I don't know if I'm grilling out with my family or not.
Gotcha.
Fair.
Well, if let me know by Sunday if you want to if we want to have a session then.
Yeah,
I'll
like
see
a
what Sunday.
heist.
Because I can probably have one early on in the day, maybe not in the evening, but in like the beginning of the day, I could probably do it.
Yeah. Oh, that sounded like Mario. Yay! Let's go.
All right,
Yes.
I'm gonna rest up.
Yeah.
Have a good night.
Good night.
See you then.
Also, real quick, like Spursy, I feel like I'm sorry. I'm sorry for everyone, really, about the beginning and the part with the black tier. I feel like I kind of I had a bit too much time in the limelight. So sorry.
I have trouble paying attention anyways, and this actually helped me get a whole page typed out for a paper.
Ooh,
Okay.
So,
that's awesome.
on one hand, I didn't retain too much information, but you get what you can get.
Yeah, on the other hand, paper.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well,
I can sleep slightly better now.
Nice.
once again, I'm sorry that it's kind of been very mono character focused. I like to try and keep it to the party, but like this campaign's been kind of weird in that regard.
Yeah, it's fine. I don't mind. We haven't played for a while, so I'm trying to regain everything anyways.
Okay.
Alright, I'll see you whenever.
Yeah.
Good night.
See ya.
Honestly, I'm excited because like I don't know a lot about the black tier personally. With that, like Noel would know, or like the specific going ons, because how they were described with the salvage and everything. I have no idea what's going on in there right now. Like what base is going through, or like that people might be here that aren't black tier. I have no idea, and I'm excited.
Oh yeah, no, there. I mean, a lot of that was me just kind of doing a little bit of fear mongering, just as a DM, because like I did put it in there as like, hey, this person is at one point in time that is coming up in the future, looking for you guys, and so there are definitely spies out there who are looking for information as to what the black tier is, where they are, what they're doing, kind of just trying to collect that information. And so it is possible that someone's already there right now, but you know for sure that they're not going to be there until later. Like, you know, people are coming who aren't going to.
Yes. I'm also very curious about what happened to the people whose bubbles I popped. I don't know what will happen to them.
Oh, yeah, that's going to be interesting. I know, well, one of them is definitely gone. Like, you ripped their soul apart from their corporeal body, and so they are adrift on the astral sea, and they are...
So I'm gonna, like, look around, see if there's any news of a toy soldier that, like, went down, maybe. No, now that I know it's, like, part of the memory thing going on. Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Excited. Okay.
That was one of my the creature that you were interacting with there, which granted they're weird, but like I've been using them for this is the third campaign now.
Ooh.
They were originally going to be the villain, the kind of like super boss villain for another campaign. So while you were gone, I was mentioning that to Seth and Tanner, who had both faced off against a warlock of this creature.
Neat.
And so it was very possible that if you had kind of like let it go, that you could have gotten a level in Anachronist Warlock. Which you just have patrons of all sorts.
Yeah, I don't think I can worship another.
Yeah, no, that would be crazy, like untangling the web of alliances. And
honestly, I think now that or Noel has got his memories back and so on, I think in the future level up, it's going to be part of the Illrigger, of course, as like just Asmodeus and Grip is still there. But I think they're going to also try, or just going to get some fighter stuff, just vanilla that, because they're not solely depending on the Illrigger and the upgrades anymore.
Makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anachronist. Like just I'm kind of a little bit relieved that you didn't get the level in Warlock, because this is the one that I did that's super complicated and has the almost one-page ability.
I see.
Yeah, like it's crazy, but it makes sense because you're literally unwriting and rewriting time to give yourself new spells. So like it makes sense, but it's just very noodly.
Yeah.
And one of your abilities
So
flips
how
upside down, which is also.
Oh wow. So a wisdom of -1 would turn into +1.
Like a Chronance of 30 gets you a -10 modifier. So like you get better at it by having less. Which,
Gotcha.
yeah.
So an 8 in wisdom be 23?
+1.
Oh, +1. Okay.
Yeah. Because the base is still 10 is +0, and so just going up
Gotcha.
is negatives and going down is positives.
Ooh. Also, now just a bit of time for stuff. How long has passed since I died? Just trying to think back on that information as night has gone.
It's probably been like. Here, go ahead and roll me 2d12. Because it's going to be that number of years.
Okay, first d12 is 2.
Okay. That's
And
probably
1, 3.
Okay. So it hasn't been that long. Like, you've spent 2 years with Asmodeus, which, I mean, that's still a lot of stuff. Then
Honestly,
maybe, like...
I was
Okay.
fully expecting it to be like, that was 100 years ago. And, like, I would find my, like, grandkids, and, like, the story of, like, Cherry or something like, oh, my pap protected us from the cultists and so on. If I find any cultists in this game now, I hope you know I'm gonna just undiscriminately kill them.
Absolutely. Like, in my mind when you were saying that, I was like, okay, my initial thought was like, it's probably been like 20-something years, and like, but no. Yeah.
Honestly, if you want it to be 20 years, I'm fine with it being 20 years. Like, whatever is more interesting in your mind and your dreamscape of this world.
I think lower is probably safer because it gives you more of a chance to kind of try and get... It's more motivation to kind of get back to where it once was. And so...
Gotcha.
There's a lot more familiarity with a lower amount of time lost. But I mean, like, 3 years is still a lot. Especially for everything that you've gone through. And what they've had to go through because of it. But yeah, no. That definitely implies that they're still around and kicking somewhere. Perhaps, if they're still alive, you know. You know, the usual sorts of stuff.
Fair.
Wow.
Sorry, I was also typing notes under now. Awesome. Anyway, then I'll see you next week, if not sooner, for Monday.
Sounds good.
Super excited. I hope you have a good day, and we'll get some more people in the next following week, hopefully, fingers crossed.
Yep, sounds good.
Peace.
See ya.